All right. How's everybody doing today? Tonight, it's showtime. Let's go. All right. So, not a lot of questions for this meeting. So I'm going to go over a number of different things. But if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Also, let me know that you're here. Karen is in the house. Good evening, Karen. How's things going? You guys put in the comment section, what are you guys struggling with? What do you need more information to help you move your business forward? What type of information do you need? What do you need to study? What do you need more of? What do you need to focus more of? I did get some questions about the investment math, and we'll go over the math tonight. But what are some of the things that you guys really need to work on? Put them in the comment section. We'll talk about those things. I'm not going to have a long meeting tonight. Just go over a few things. But let me know how you're doing. Let me know what your struggles are. Let me know what I can help you with. I'm always here to help. I definitely want to pour into you. And so, and I want you guys to have a great year. I mean, we're almost at the end of the first quarter of the year. And so I know a lot of you guys have set goals for yourself for this year. Hopefully you're on target to hit those goals. But if you're not, let me know why. What do you think your struggles are? I'm going to talk a little bit about focus and staying determined, knowing what your why is, setting big goals. And so all of those things we have to do. But I want to know what your struggles are. Put them in the comment section. We'll talk about those things. Hopefully everybody's doing wonderful. Sharvita is in the house. Hey, Sharvita. And so whatever your struggles are, let me know. Let's talk about it. Because look, spring is here. Spring is here. It's time to get out and go. It's time. And so let's start doing deals. Kayla Brown is here. Hey, Kayla. Clinton is here. And so real estate investing, you guys are here on this call because you want to learn about making more money, investing in yourself, building wealth, building generational wealth. Tori is in the house. Hey, Tori. Let me know what your struggles are. Keith Bennett is here. Keith, KB is here. What are your struggles, you guys? Put them in the comment section. What do we need to talk about more? What do you need help with? What are some of the things that are going to take you from where you are to where you need to be or should be, so that this real estate investing can help you live up to your fullest potential? And so those are some of the things that I want to talk about. Coop is in the house. What's up, Coop? So Coop is here. Kevin and Tamika is here. I know they've been driving for dollars. One thing I do want to talk about that just comes to mind is skip tracing. A lot of you guys have questions about skip tracing and what that is. And so, so here's what skip tracing is. I want you guys to really get good at, when you drive past a property or know of a property, you have the address, I want you to utilize some automation so that you can look up the seller's name and the seller's phone number, so that you can preferably call them or send them a letter, a postcard, or even door knock them. And so I want you to get good at that. So what you need to do is get some automation. Deal Machine is good. PropStream is good. I know a lot of you guys are using PropStream. We've got an announcement coming out next week about PropStream, where we're going to be able to give you a coupon code so you can get it cheaper. But I want you guys to get really good at finding properties and then quickly finding out who the homeowner is and contacting them. What I used to do years ago was door knock. I would just go door knock them and see if they were interested in selling the house. Now, if the house is vacant or abandoned, of course you can't door knock them, but you can certainly get their phone number. And so, and then oftentimes what I do even now is if I know the homeowner's address and I'm able to get their name, I don't have their phone number, I'll just Google, I'll Google their name and then their area code. So if they're in Washington, D.C., if the house is in D.C., I'll Google their name and then I'll put 202 and see what comes up. And I'll probably 80% of the time I'm able to get the name. And I mean, I'm able to get the number. So those are some of the things that you guys want to do. But you guys put in the comment section some things that you guys need to work on, and let's talk about it. What are some of your struggles? What are some of the things that are keeping you from, you know, achieving your goals? So Keith put time blocking, and so time blocking is very important, you guys. And so I time block every day. And so you've got to consciously block out time every single day. I don't like it when I hear people say that they don't have enough time in the day to do everything that they need to do. You do have enough time. You're just not blocking out time. And so I have, I just looked at my schedule for tomorrow. I legitimately have 10 appointments tomorrow, starting with the 9 o'clock appointment with my title company, virtual. And then I meet a wholesaler at her property tomorrow morning. And then I go to one of my properties. And then I have a podcast, and so on and so forth, all throughout the day. But I have a schedule, so that helps you with time blocking. So get a schedule. So I have a schedule, virtual schedule on my phone and app. So that's going to help you block out time. But then also, I try to, everything for me personally, I block out time in the mornings for all my field activities. So going to my personal properties, looking at new opportunities out in the field, visiting my investors and my wholesalers out in the field in the mornings, even honestly running errands. I try to take care of all that stuff in the morning. Obviously, when I first get up, I meditate, pray. I work out. Now I'm walking 5 miles every morning, but I'm going to start probably next week, get back into the gym. I haven't been in the gym, because of COVID, but I'm thinking I've been vaccinated, and the guys are texting me, calling me, when you coming back? When you coming back? And so I got to hurry up and get back in because I know they're way ahead of me. So I got to catch up to them in terms of lifting. And so I'll get back into the gym, but then I try to have a 9 o'clock meeting every morning, and then my day just goes, but my day is blocked out. And so what I honestly try to do is the most important things for me, I try to get done before noon. Everything that I deem to be most important, I try to get done before noon, and then I have all my other appointments after that. And sometimes I get off at 5 o'clock. Sometimes I have to go until 7, 8 o'clock. Last night we actually had a settlement that didn't end until 9:30. I wasn't there, but I was, on the phone making sure everything was fine. So you've got to block out your time. If you're driving for dollars, what days and what times are you going to do that? Block out time. If you're going to the probate office, if you're working probates, what day and what time are you going? I used to go on Mondays, and I would try to get there as soon as they open, like no later than 9 o'clock every Monday. And every now and then to beat the Monday rush, because a lot of people go on Mondays, I would go on Fridays, and I would try to get there before 9 o'clock. So when are you going to do what's most important? And so that's how you time block. But you've got to block out that time to give yourself time to do everything that you need to do. If you don't do that, if it's not systematic, if you don't have a calendar or a schedule, your day is going to get away from you. and I try not to allow my day to the point where part of my prayer is that I have a productive day, that I get everything in. That this morning I remember praying that 12 hours from now, I'm able to look back at the day and say I had a productive day, and I've been able to do that. And so that all goes with time blocking, and you guys, you've got to do that. You've got to do that. And so Adrian said, I'm very busy tomorrow. I am. Hey, Andre is in the house. I am, but I got to get it in because I've got big goals. And so if you have big goals, you guys, you've got to get it in, and you can't have an excuse that there's not enough time in the day or I didn't have enough time. We make time for what's most important. Building wealth, retiring financially free, leaving a legacy. All those are the most important things that you guys can do. Like, that's the most important things you can do. So make time for that. Also, if you guys have a property in Baltimore, I think you do, Andre, let me know. We'd like to see it. I'm going to have my platinum coaching students doing a caravan on Saturday. And so we're going to go to a couple of the students' houses. We'd love to stop by one of yours. And so we're just going to go house to house, 10, 15 minutes at each house. We'll be able to look at different areas and different stages of renovations. So you have something. I think Andres has something. I'm looking to see who else is on here. So we'll be up there. Let me know, you guys. Let me know. And so again, you guys, Keith put part of his challenge is time blocking. What are your challenges? Like, what are your challenges? What's keeping you from achieving your goals? What's keeping you from achieving more than what you're achieving now? And so, so just let me know. Let me know what that is, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about all your challenges. We don't have to stay on this call long this evening, but let me know what your challenges are, you guys. And before I forget, I'm going to take a deep dive into wholesaling tomorrow. So on my live podcast at noon, I'm going to go over an advanced wholesaling strategies talk where it'll be interactive. You can ask me questions, but I'm going to really get into advanced wholesaling strategies. And so you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys are all on YouTube right now. Subscribe to that channel. You'll be able to catch it live. If you can't catch it live, you'll get the recording. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's I'll be talking about wholesaling tomorrow at noon. All right. So one of the questions that came in was, it was a financial question about putting together some type of template or package to give to private lenders. And so you guys know that private lenders and having cash is private lenders play a major role in real estate investing. As far as we're concerned, investors, we need private lenders. The last house that I purchased and renovated, I got the money to buy the property from a hard money lender, which is really a private lender. They're just a business or company. And so I got my money to buy the property from the hard money lender. I got the money to renovate the property from a hard money lender. I still need money for closing costs, and I need money to start the first draw. I called one of my private lenders and asked for $50,000. And so they gave me $50,000 so that they put up the closing cost money and got me started with the first draw until the bank gave me the money for the first draw, which means I didn't put up any money on this property. I didn't put up any money. And so then the question is, how do you find private lenders? And what do you present to them? Template, package, whatever, what is that? And so take notes, you guys, because this is important. You guys have to find them. So here's what I try to do. I obviously give them the address. I give them pictures of the property. I'm writing this stuff down as I'm speaking so I don't miss anything. So they get the address so they can look it up themselves. I give them as is pictures. I give them the comps to the property. So I give them 2 sets of comps. I give them the as is comps, and I give them the after repair value comps. I give them a copy of the contract. So the contract that I sign, I give them a copy of that. I give them a draw schedule, and I also give them a scope of work. So draw schedule, let's say, for example, it's a $90,000 draw, where it's going to take $90,000 to renovate the property. I've broken down that $90,000 into 3 lump sum payments, but within those 3 lump sum payments, I itemize, like for example, the first draw will be $30,000. I itemize exactly how I'm going to spend that $30,000. Second draw will be another $30,000. I itemize how I'm going to do that, and then the last draw. So I give them a scope of work. I give them a draw schedule. I give them a draw schedule, and it's a narrative. It's a blueprint. It's a report on exactly where the house is now. It's a narrative where the house is now, and then where is it going to be once I renovate the property, what I'm going to do. So it's 3 bedroom, 1 bath now. When I'm finished, it's going to be 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. I'm going to totally renovate the basement. Going to put a bathroom in the basement. Going to put tile in the basement. We're going to put new drywall up in the basement, paint the basement. We're going to run ducts throughout. We're going to put a full HVAC system in the property, new hot water tank, new electrical throughout the house. We're going to have to increase the amp, so we're going to do a heavy up for electrical. And then plumbing, the bathroom, new bathroom, and all new electrical pipes. And so it's a narrative. On the main level, we're putting in brand new hardwood floors, 5-inch baseboards, shoe molding, crown molding, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, everything. So all that goes into your scope of work. And then, of course, we have the draw schedule. What else do I give? So they get the contract, so they'll know how much I'm paying for the property. There's a couple other things that I'm not thinking about that I give them. So I give them all of those things, you guys. And if you're able to do that, and then you guys should be able to tell the private lender that you work with a group of experienced investors that have over 30 years of experience. And so don't draw on your experience, draw on the group's experience, and let them know that people from the group are going to be helping you overlook the project. Where do you find private lenders? There's private lenders on this call right now in this meeting. And so it could be your next door neighbor, but preferably somebody you know, a family member, friend, old classmate. And once you start doing more, I've had private lenders give me money. It's worked out, and so they get their friends to want to give me money, and their family members that want to give me money. And so why do they want to give me money? Because if they're getting like less than 1% with their money on a checking account, or on a savings account, maybe 1% on a CD, less than 2%. They could have their money in a mutual fund that's maybe giving them 5%, 6%. If I can give them 10% on their money, then that's better than what they're getting on their money now. So that's why they do it. But they've got to know you, they've got to trust you, but you've got to put together a package of information to give to them to show the credibility of the project, but then more importantly, the credibility of you. And so you lean on the credibility of the group. You want to also talk about the contractor and experience with the contractor, and show the contractors their license, that they're licensed and bonded. So you want to show them all of that. You've got to have all your ducks in order for them, but also for yourself. And so that's what you need. That's what you need for a private lender. So if you guys have any questions, and it's going to be very difficult, you guys, to scale your business and to do multiple projects at one time without private lenders. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years now, and I still draw on private lenders because when you're doing, like recently, like right now, I'm doing at various stages 4 projects right now, four flips. Although two might be, I might decide to hold those. But when you're doing 4 flips, and there's been time in my career when I was doing 10 at various stages, you need cash. Sometimes you need cash between draws. Sometimes you have change orders, and those change orders aren't on the draw schedule, so you've got to come up with cash. It gets to be cash intensive. You want to leverage other people's cash. And so that's what you want to do. You want to leverage other people's cash for your own projects. We want to use other people's money to build our own wealth. And so you got to call on people. So here's one thing that I want you guys to do. You need to make a list. Kevin and Tamika, you need to make a list of everybody that you know, Sharvita, everyone you know that you could call on as a private lender. And here's the thing, you guys, there's no shame. There should be no shame in your game. I've been doing this for 30 years, no shame in my game. It's a means to an end. All they can do, you guys, is say no. All they can do is say no. But you've got to ask, because you never know. You never know. Somebody right now could be thinking, how can I build wealth? How can I get more interest on my money? You just never know. So you ask. And you just ask in a way that if they say no, it's okay. But how do you know? How do you know whether or not they're going to lend you the money or not? So I just pick up the phone and ask. And I mean, now I have a list, but now people call me, and that's what will happen to you. But in the beginning, for me, it wasn't that way. And so I had to pick up the phone and ask. And so that's what you have to do with your private lenders, you guys. And that's how you start to scale your business. And so we talk about having big goals and big dreams, and having a team that's going to help you get to those big goals and those big dreams. Part of that team needs to be private lenders. And so you've got to ask them, you've got to have a list and ask people. And start making that list so that when you find a property, you know who to go to ask for money. And I know that a lot of you guys, like Sharvita, you guys are buying and holding, you're fixing and flipping. The name of the game is to use other people's money. Leverage. It's called leverage. Leveraging other people's time, their money, their experience to help you grow your own business, but also to help them as well. I mean, it's a win-win. It's a two-way street. All right, you guys, that's enough about private lending. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comment section. If you have questions about anything else, put them in the comment section. All right, so here's another question. I wish I had it in the chat. I can't put it in the comment section. How do we best navigate a property purchase when a deed hasn't been recorded? All right, so let's just stop there. So I think it's Sharvita. Sharvita has a deed. She's trying to buy a house. I think she's trying to buy a house, and the deed is not recorded. So obviously, Sharvita, you can't buy that house. if you have it under contract, then you just wait. Like I've waited. And here's the beauty of waiting. I know you're anxious, you want to get going, but the beauty of waiting is one advantage. You got to look at every situation and see the good in every situation. The good in this situation is building equity. As time goes on, the house is appreciating, especially in this market. The property is appreciating. So obviously you can't buy the property until they've already signed. I'm assuming settlement is done, but through the title company and maybe through the city or the county, it's just not recorded yet. And so you just have to wait. And it looks like you're waiting a long time. It says they're taking 6 to 8 months. Sell it bought it in January. All right, so they're taking a while and going through the title company to use the purchase. So all right. So yeah, I would go through the same title company, but Sharvita, just wait. I mean, hopefully, you'll be able to buy it soon to take advantage of the summer market. And so I'm getting ready to buy, hopefully getting ready to buy a property where, I started counting down. I got a phone call today. Now I'm using my fingers. Okay, if I close in April, I've got May, June, July, August, September. Like I've got 5 months to finish that property and get it on the market to take advantage of summer market. And so that's the same thing with you. Yeah, sometimes. And so Sharvita put it's a Baltimore City property. Sometimes Baltimore City takes a while, unfortunately, to record. And so you just have to wait it out. And then I think you're probably put in the comment section, are you holding the property or are you flipping the property? So I think you're probably going to hold it. And so it's fine. But if you're going to flip, like we want to get these properties now to take advantage of either spring market or summer market. We know traditionally that fall market, starting in October, the market starts to slow down a little bit. And so obviously didn't slow down this past fall because of the market frenzy with no inventory and a whole bunch of buyers because of interest rates. And so the market hasn't slowed down since probably not this time last year, but probably April, May of last year. April, May of last year is when we really started to see, true sellers market where there's more buyers than sellers than I've seen in my 30 years of being in real estate. Market hotter than the early 2000s before the recession of 2007, 2008. And so but at any rate, so Sharvita's saying she's going to be flipping the property. And so my hope for you, it's a full rehab 4-month project. Okay, so it's perfect. If you can close on that project, Sharvita, I'll say within the next 30 days. But 4 months, you got 40 to 60 days. I mean, yeah, about 30, 40, 60 days to close on it. And then just have everything in order. Just know that you've got to get inspections. You've got to get your contractors ready to get permits, get that building permit right away, be ready for that. Then get all your trades, get them ready to pull their permits, the plumber, the electrician, and the HVAC guy, your mechanical, get them ready so that you can get going. Get your demo people in line, order your dumpsters, and so that you can hurry up and demo that property and get it ready. All right, Sharvita. So Sharvita's got a flip in Baltimore. Tell us how you found it. Put it in the comments section. Let us know how you found that property. What type of marketing did you do to find that property? Most of the properties that I get in Baltimore, except for the last two, for me are really buy and holds. But I have actually drove by a property yesterday in Charles Village, 21218 in Baltimore that I renovated to hold but ended up selling. And so, but she's going to hold this one. All right, way to go, Sharvita. Okay, so I think I've answered all of Sharvita's questions. And so let's see, we've got another question. I think this was Chloe's question about ARV. So Sharvita's saying this is her second one. Okay, so now Sharvita's showing off. I see you showing off, Sharvita. But look, she bought it through an auction, Ashland Auctions. She purchased this through an auction. She won a bid at the auction. So Ashland Auctions, you guys, Google that, Ashland Auctions. So I like Ashland because they you actually bid not at the courthouse steps, but right in front of the house. So you actually get to go in right before the auction and see the property. So she won this one on Ashland Auctions. And I believe, anyway, just forgot something, but anyway, but Ashland Auctions, good job, Sharvita. All right, how can I figure out the after repair value on an unfinished remodel? So I think Chloe is saying that, just so someone just sold a property with Ashland Auction. Good. And so I've done that too. I've bought a property and cleaned it out and just gave it to the auctioneer without even renovating the property. And so that's also a good strategy. Yeah, they're great to work with. Absolutely. And so I've done that. I actually have one in Baltimore County that I'm thinking about doing the same thing. One that at the courthouse steps, have already cleaned it out. And instead of renovating the property, thinking about just, because I got it at a really, really good price, thinking about just giving it to the auctioneer and just make my money really quickly that way without other than cleaning it out, not doing anything else. Just purchase it, clean it out, and giving it to the auctioneer. So the property that Sharvita bought, she says after repair value in that block is 190. So 190 is good, depending on what area of Baltimore she's in. That's good. Oh, that's Billy. Okay. Hey, Billy. And so Quentin is asking the question, do you pay an auctioneer company a simple commission? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. So generally speaking, an auctioneer, you pay them a 5% commission. And so if you win the property at, let's say, $100,000, you owe them a commission of $5,000. You pay them 5%. Now, in foreclosures and auctions, we don't call it a commission. We actually call it a buyer's premium. But it's the same thing. A buyer's premium is the same thing as the commission. So when you win the bid, you've got to know when you do your numbers. That's why we always tell you guys, use 60% of the after repair value minus repair costs, 60%, because you've got to tack on another 5% for the commission or the buyer's premium. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So Billy is saying Ashland adds to it on the price, so it doesn't come out of your proceeds. Okay, so Billy is saying the 5%, they already include that in the bid price. That's good. That's good. So it's not going to come out. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So look, ARV, you guys, we go over ARV every meeting. Every meeting we go over ARV. If a property, here's the thing, you guys. When we're getting ARV, that's after repair value, when we're looking at after repair value, so first of all, after repair value means what is the house worth once it's completely renovated. So Sharvita is saying the house that she's buying, which is in 21229, that's Edmondson Village area, West Baltimore. I own property there, Sharvita. And so she's saying that once she renovates the property, completely renovates the property from head to toe, she'll be able to sell it for 190. Now, my guess is that she's probably bought it for somewhere around 90,000, 80,000, something like that. Is probably what she bought it for. But when she renovates the property, it's going to be worth 190. That's your after repair value. After the property is renovated and after the property's been repaired, that's the value, ARV, after repair value. So whether the house is a burned house that's been either burned down or has caught on fire or needs to be updated, or the renovations have started, not completed, none of that really matters, to be honest with you. Only thing that matters is what are you going to be able to sell it for once it's renovated? That's your ARV. That's your after repair value. And so in any area, let me sit up. My staff hates it when I get relaxed and sit back. So let me make sure I sit up so you guys can see me. Wow, Sharvita is saying that she bought this property for $25,000. Wow. She's buying it. She's buying the property in 21229 for $25,000. She's buying another one for $45,000. So that's a great deal. The ARV is $190. That's a steal. She's bought it less than, way less than 50% of the after repair value. But she's saying one that had water damage. Okay. So you guys, you've got to have an understanding of what ARV is. ARV is after the property has been renovated, what will it sell for? And so that's your ARV. And so for Sharvita, 190, she'll be able to sell it for 190. That's your ARV. So we're buying properties that need to be renovated. That's the type of properties we want to buy. Somebody asked me earlier in the week or last week, do I buy houses that have caught on fire? Absolutely, because a lot of them just need to be cleaned out. I bought a property in Northeast, the Woodridge area of Northeast DC, a couple years ago, and the fire it was so much fire, the fire had gone out the roof. But because the house had caught on fire at the time, this particular house, the after repair value was about $600,000. But because of the fire, instead of me paying probably around $300,000, I paid $200,000 for the house. Now, a lot of the things that if I was to gut the property, I probably would have paid $300,000, paid $200,000, but a lot of the things that I had to get out of the house, like putting on a new roof because there's literally almost no roof, I was going to do a new roof anyway. I mean, I had to spend a little more money on the subroofing and the trusses. I was going to have to do that anyway. I had to put in new wall joists. It's just wood. I was going to probably have to do some new wall joists anyway, new flooring. Well, we were going up a level on the house anyway. And so the fire really didn't affect us, especially after demo, because a lot of things that we were doing, we were going to have to do whether the house caught on fire or not. You can take advantage of getting prices a lot lower. We always like to say the uglier the house, the better. The uglier the house, the better, because you can, and the reason we say that is because we have a lot of leverage on negotiating a better deal. We like to say mold is gold. Mold is gold. I love buying houses with mold in it. I bought a house in Annapolis, Maryland, for about $200,000. where the after repair value was like 550 because the basement was full of mold. And so the seller looked at that in a way that they actually thought that they couldn't sell the property. Well, for me, it was an opportunity because to remediate mold is so the basement was unfinished anyway. The basement had 3 feet of mold in it. But when we finish a basement, we're getting rid of, you know, drywall. In this case, it was really, really bad. So we had to get rid of not only just drywall, but insulation. We had to get rid of the wall joists. We had to get rid of the flooring. Those things we were going to have to do anyway to finish the basement. And so it's a great opportunity. So keep in mind, you guys, that the uglier the property, the better. The uglier the property, the better. Use that ugliness or that challenge in that property. Use that as leverage to negotiate even a better deal on the property. The uglier, the better. Mold is gold, all those kinds of things. All right, so that's after repair value. Know what the after repair value is. I'm going to give you guys a scenario in a second. And let's see who's the first one to come up with these numbers. Let me see if I think I may have some questions. Oh, okay. So Sharvita is saying it's $100,000 budget. Okay. And so Sharvita, are you going to get some contractors from Baltimore, or are you going to bring some from the DC area? Yeah, like Gary is saying, ugly equals discount. There you go. That's a better way of putting it, Gary. Better way of putting it. That's that pit education. That pit education coming for you. Yeah, ugly equals discount. Good way to put it. Okay. All right. Let's see. What is the common percentage you use if you can't see the property to get the repair costs? So that's a good question, Melissa. And that kind of leads into the Mayo formula. So it's 20%. And so I like to use 20% for repair costs, 20% of the after repair value. So if after repair value is 400,000 and I can't see the property, then I'm going to use 20% of the 400,000. That's $80,000 repair costs. That's what I'm going to use as repair costs. So that's how I do it. Let's see. I'm using the same contractors from the one I'm working with in the same block. Oh, she's buying 2 in the same block. Good. Just know, you guys, in certain areas, labor costs are cheaper. And so the labor costs in Baltimore is cheaper than labor costs, let's say, for example, in Washington, D.C. Contractors are charging you more there. Material costs are generally about the same. Material costs right now is a lot higher because of COVID. It's hard getting material. Like you've got to get to like a Home Depot or Lowe's or some of these other places like 6 in the morning just to get material, and the cost is just incredibly high now because there's a shortage of material because of the state of the world, really the state of the economy. All right, let's see. So Chloe is asking, so would the repair value, let me just put this up. So would the repair value be different if the property is partially renovated? Yes, so the repair cost is going to be different. And so we generally use as a rule of thumb, 20% of the after repair value. So if after repair value is 200,000, repair cost should be about 40,000. If they've already done some work, you guys, if they've already done some work, then that's going to decrease the repair costs. It's going to decrease the repair costs because they've already done some repair costs. And so in that case, if you don't have experience estimating repair costs, I would take a contractor with you, coach, mentor. If you're wholesaling, take a cash buyer, take somebody with you. But yeah, oftentimes, like I bought a property on Dick Street in Deanwood, and I used the Mayo formula. So I used 70% of the after repair value minus repair cost as my formula, thinking that repair cost was going to be 20%. I was able to get that number, but when I looked at the property, the former owner, not the person that I actually bought the property from. Actually, the person that I bought the property from bought that property 3 years ago, or 3 years from the time I bought it from her. She had it for 3 years, but she bought a completely renovated property. And so the property had been renovated 3 years prior. But unfortunately, I don't know if she lost her job. I don't know what happened, but the house was getting ready to go to foreclosure. And so I bought it. And so what made that property, that deal, such a good deal is I bought it according to the formula, but the repair cost was cut in half. So I bought it for even more better than the numbers dictated, because that property already had a completely renovated kitchen with granite countertops. I didn't do anything to the kitchen. I didn't even change the appliances. All I really did was paint. Let me see. I painted. It was like one or two things I did in the bathrooms, but I didn't do much. I mean, I think I spent maybe less than $12,000, so I got a really good deal. Now, if I had to negotiate even higher, I would have, because I had the room, because the renovation costs wasn't as high. So Chloe, you asked a good question. And so if the house doesn't need a total renovation, then no, you don't have to do the 20%. So that's a good question. Just really according to what needs to be done in the property. Actually, that property on Dick Street, I was going to flip the property, but it was such a good deal. I decided to go ahead and hold on to it and rent it out to a voucher holder. Speaking of voucher holders, you guys, I went to visit one of my properties actually in Baltimore yesterday. I hadn't seen this property in about a year. I have a voucher holder in the property. Hadn't seen it in about a year. My tenant, she was complaining that there was water coming into the basement. And there was water getting into the basement. So I sent my contractors over there. They changed the flooring. They changed the steps coming down to the basement, and I just wanted to take a look. So so I had an appointment with her last Wednesday, and I canceled at the last minute. And so I told her I'll come on Monday. So I went yesterday, and so on the way to see her, I went down Route 301. There's a Krispy Kreme. I guess it's called a restaurant there. I went and bought her a dozen donuts. And I've never met her, only talked to her on the phone. So I brought her a dozen donuts. And here's why I did that. This is not the point of what I'm saying, but I bought her a dozen donuts to show goodwill. I look at my properties as a business. And like a business, if you treat the people who are taking care of the business, like you treat your employees really good, they're going to take care of your business. They're going to have ownership in your business. They're going to treat that business like it's theirs. The same with the tenant. If you show goodwill to the tenant, they're going to be more than happy to show goodwill towards you and take care of the property. I want to get tenants that I have a minimum of 10 years, because I know that every time you turn over a property and get a new tenant, it costs you so much money. And so now you turn it over. Now you got, in some cases, paint. You got to put in new flooring sometimes. The house stays vacant for a couple months. Sometimes if you're using voucher holders, Section 8 has to come back out and inspect the property. And so it could go unrented for 2, 3, 4 months, and you have to spend money on fixing it back up. And so I try to do everything I can to keep that good relationship with my tenants. And so I took her donuts, not knowing how the property was going to look. Went into the property, greeted her, gave her the donuts, and to my pleasant surprise, the house was immaculate. It was in better shape than it was when we turned over the keys to her. And so I was grateful. I was truly grateful. I was glad that I brought her the donuts. It's a small gesture, but that goes a long way. Just me coming out to the property, she showed a lot of gratitude. But the house, to my surprise, and I thought to myself driving back, like, I need to do whatever I can to keep her happy and keep her in that property, because here's the reality, you guys. There's a good chance that she's gonna pay for that house for me. I mean, I'm making on that house somewhere around, I think, $900, close to $1,000 a month in positive cash flow. Now, Section 8 goes up every year, but so I've got a positive cash flow. But if I can keep her in there long enough, she'll pay the whole house off for me. So any little thing that she wants done, I'm running. I'm sending my contractor over there for the littlest thing, because there's a good chance she's gonna buy that house for me. She's gonna pay for it. And I might even take a little bit of that positive cash flow and send at least 1 or 2 extra payments a year to the mortgage company to pay that mortgage off even sooner, so I can get that property paid for. So keep those things in mind, you guys, especially those of you who have tenants. They're not your enemy. They're your friend. They're your business partner. They're going to help build that wealth for you. So take care of your tenants. I know some landlords that actually, if they have no trouble all year long, the tenants pay on time. Some landlords send their tenants on vacation. Some tenants some landlords send their tenants on vacation. Some landlords allow their tenants to skip, let's say, December's rent because of Christmas. And so they show a lot of goodwill towards their tenants, but really they're showing a lot of appreciation. And so they're not your enemies, they're your friends. Get to know your tenants, you guys. Get to know your tenants. So I did that yesterday, and I'm glad. It was the best trip I've made to Baltimore in a long time, because they're helping me build wealth. And I just rode down the road thinking, wow, like, I need more of her. But honestly, all of my, let me just say this, and I thought this was going to be a short meeting, but I just get to talking, that voucher holders get a bad rap, you guys. There's a lot of people that wouldn't dare rent into a Section 8 tenant or any type of voucher holder. Every voucher holder that I've ever had, and I've had them for like forever, like I've had them my whole career. The second property I bought, which I was 24 years old, bought a property in Fort Lincoln in Northeast DC, Fort Lincoln, Woodridge area. She was a voucher holder, and she was wonderful. And all of them have been wonderful. And so don't shy away. And I primarily like renting to voucher holders because first of the month, my money is there. Through thick and thin, through recession, through pandemic, first of the month, bam, all of the payments, bam, 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 they're there. And so I love voucher holders. You've got to manage them. You've got to be their friend. You have to check on the property. I don't check on mine enough, but I do send my contractors over there. But if you do all those things, like, you're talking about building wealth, like, that's how you build wealth. All right. We're running out of time. I know some of you guys are waiting for the math. So let's go over the math. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a case study. And I want you guys to try your best to get this. It's a learning lesson. So we'll go over how we came up with the numbers. Let's see what Gary is saying. Gary is saying he's had 2 voucher holders. Both left the house cleaner when they moved out than when they did when they let me see, left the cleaner when moved out than when they did move out of the same place. No complaints. So basically, he has no complaints with voucher holders, you guys. No complaints with voucher holders. I love voucher holders. I almost think it's like stealing money from the government. It's almost like stealing. It's not stealing, but it's like it's a coup. Like I can have a rental property and the federal government's going to pay the rent. And all I have to do is make sure the tenant doesn't tear up the property, which they don't. I treat them well. I give them a good product and they treat it like it's their own. Like what's a better way to build wealth than, number one, having the federal government pay the rent? The federal government pays off your mortgage for you. And then all you've got to do is manage a tenant. Like, how cool is that? And it's easy. Bring them, Gary, bring your tenants donuts, man. Bring them Krispy Kreme. I'm just messing with you, Gary. All right, so let's do a case study real quick. All right. So the first person that gets this, some of you guys beat me last week. The first person that gets this gets $100. All right, so let's see. Sharvita has a property. The after repair value is 190, you guys. After repair value, this is going to be hard. The after repair value is 190 on the property that she just bought. Let's say, for example, you guys are wholesaling the property. You're wholesaling, you're the wholesaler that wholesaled the property to Sharvita. After repair value is 190. Do the formula for wholesaling. Do the formula for cash buyer. Figure out what the after repair value is. Let me know, number one, what the wholesale fee is. All right, so that's number one, wholesale fee. So that's the first number I want. The first number I want is what the wholesale fee is. Second number I want is what the repair cost is. Make sure they're in the right order. And the third number is what you put it under contract for as the wholesaler. Wholesaler, what you put it under contract. And the fourth is if Sharvita actually was to flip the property, how much money would she make? All right, let me repeat. I want the wholesale fee. I want the repair cost. I want what you put it under contract for as the wholesaler, and how much money would Sharvita make if she was to flip the property. Give me those four. If this is above what you guys know, I'm going to go over all these things and show you how we got the numbers. All right, so let me give you guys a couple minutes to get the numbers, and we'll be on our way. Let's see, 190 times. All right, so that's the profit right there. Let's figure this out here. Let's see, repair cost is this. Let me see, as a wholesaler. I'm gonna put that. This one's a tough one, you guys. This one's probably not fair. This one's not fair. But let me see what you guys come up with. All right. All right. Oh, you guys. Let's see. Got some 38s in here. All right, a couple more minutes, you guys. So we got after repair value of 190 times 65% as a wholesaler minus repair cost. So the wholesaler is this. And then we just take 190 minus all right. All right, you guys. After further review, let's go over the numbers. Let's go over the numbers. And so it looks like it looks like the repair cost should be 38,000, and looks like a few of you guys have that. Repair cost is 38,000. If she was to flip the property, she'll make 38,000. So repair costs, if we don't know what the repair cost is, we're going to take 20% of the after repair value, you guys, to get the repair cost. And so after repair value is 190 times 20% equals 38,000. So that's your repair cost. Also, her profit should be 190 times, your profit should be about 20% of the after repair value. So 190 times 20% again is 38,000. As a wholesaler, we're going to take the after repair value of 190 times 65% minus the repair cost of 38,000. That equals 85,000 equals 85,500. That's the offer you're going to make the cash. I mean, that's the offer you're going to make to the motivated seller is 85,500. That's the offer that you're going to make to the motivated seller. 65% of the after repair value minus repair cost is 85,500. Now we've got to figure out what are you going to offer to the cash buyer. What you're going to offer to the cash buyer is 70%. So we can take 190 times 70% equals 133 minus 38,000 in repair costs. That's 195. 195. So the difference is 95 minus 85,500 equals 9,500. That's your wholesale fee. Let's see who got that. Gary was the first, 95. Oh, I think Gary got it. Did Gary get all the numbers right? Let's see. I know Kevin got all the numbers right. Kevin's a big show off. So Kevin got them all right. And I think Gary, you missed the number somewhere. All right, Kevin. I think Kevin's the winner again. Gary, one of your numbers is looks like it's off. One of your numbers is off. All right, so hopefully you guys see where we got the numbers. I can do it again. And so the repair cost is 20% of the after repair value. So 20% of the 190 is 38,000. So that's easy. Your profit as someone that's flipping a property, your profit should be 20% of the after repair value. So again, that's 38,000. The wholesaler, 65% of the after repair value minus repair costs. And so that's 190 after repair value times 65% equals 123,500. I think that's where Gary went wrong. Yeah. So Gary, you didn't subtract the repair cost. Repair cost is 38,000 equals 85. We're putting it under contract for Kevin. Oh, okay, Kevin got 85,500, and then as the cash, as you're going to give this property to sell this to a cash buyer. Cash buyer is going to buy it at 70%. So we're going to take 190 times 70% minus the 38,000. Or let me do it again. 190 times 70% minus 38,000 equals 95,000 minus, and so you want to subtract that from what you put on the contract. So the difference between what you're selling it to the cash buyer and what you put on the contract for, the difference in this case is 9,500. All right, so Kevin and Tamika won again. Kevin and Tamika, you guys, I'm going to take a deep dive into this math at noon tomorrow. So sometimes it just takes a little practice, and it looks like these guys are practicing. And so you have to practice in order to get it, in order to win, you guys. You've got to know your numbers. You've got to know your numbers. I think Chloe, let's see, Chloe. I think Chloe got close. A couple of you guys have 57,000. Where'd you guys get the 57,000 from? We'll go over the numbers tomorrow at noon. So catch me live right here. I'll be on my Facebook page live too. Any questions, you guys? Any questions that you guys have? Gary said back next week. All right. So again, you guys, any questions that you guys have or concerns, anything that we need to talk about, put them in the comment section now. Contact me offline, but I want you guys to win. I want all of us to win. And so if you need more practice with the numbers, we'll go over that. If you need better scripts, Keith actually teaches a cold calling class every Thursday. You guys are more than invited. And so if you want to go to, it's a virtual cold calling class where he goes over scripts. Let us know. We're more than happy to invite you. It's for my real estate agents, but I want my investors knowing what to say as well. And so whatever it is, that you guys need help with, Kevin, I don't know what that is, Kevin. Whatever you guys need help with, let me know. I one of us, we have to make money. Like, we have to build wealth. Unfortunately, we don't have wealth. Like, we don't. Like, many of us, we don't. And so real estate investing is one vehicle that's going to help us build wealth. And that's why I got into real estate at a very, very early age. Like, I really knew that I was going to get in real estate at 17 years old when, I read in an encyclopedia that 95% of all the wealth in this country is owned by people who are in real estate. So at 17 years old, I knew what my destiny was going to be, just because of what I read, and that resonated with me so much that, a few years later, I bought my first property, and I've been in real estate ever since, buying properties. But it's one of the fields, you guys, that the sky's the limit. Many of you guys are in occupations where there's a ceiling, or some of you guys are working 9 to 5 or on a salary where, at the end of the year, right now in March, how much, what your W-2 is going to say next year, because you're on a salary or you work a certain amount of hours. Real estate, I can't tell you, what my 1099 is going to say, or how much money I'm going to make this year. Sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And I can't put a limit on what I'm going to make. Sometimes it's kind of predicated on how hard I work. And so that's what I want to be in. That's what I want you guys to be a part of, where the sky's the limit, where you're not overworked and underpaid. You get paid for the work that you do, but you got to embrace it. Like, you can't be comfortable. Sometimes you guys are comfortable because you know that you have a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, even though that paycheck is not what you want it to be. Even though with that paycheck you're barely making it, you're comfortable. I want you to be hungry. Like, you got to be hungry. I run scared every day, and I've been running scared, since I was about 25 years old or so. When I, started doing this full time, I've been running scared. But because I've been running scared, I've made 7 figures in a year. And so, but I run scared. I get up early, and sometimes I go to bed late. Sometimes I work on the weekends because I don't have a paycheck coming in, and I just have that mentality. Now, also a lot goes with that as well, like living below your means and, stuff like that, keeping great credit, things like that. But let's just really focus on building wealth. And if it means getting more education, asking more questions, being a part of our platinum coaching program where our students are really doing well, they're going to shadow us in, we're going to do a small caravan on Saturday. Do whatever it takes, you guys. Ask me questions. I'm happy to help you. I want to help you. That's how I get my blessings, by helping you. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop preaching 9:15. I thought it was going to be a short meeting, but we've actually gone over. So look, guys, it's all about winning. It's all about staying active. What are you going to do tomorrow or tonight? What are you going to do? Write it out. We talked about time blocking. Write it out. What are you going to do? One little baby step tomorrow. One little thing. Could be something that you read. It could be a phone call that you've made. It could be practicing the formulas. Whatever that is, let's take a baby step. And we get enough baby steps, that's going to lead to some big things for us, you guys. It's going to lead to some big things. Make a phone call. Go driving for dollars. Post on social media that you buy houses fast. Do something tomorrow. Time block, take a baby step. Let's win. I want to be a part of winners, and I know you guys do too. All right, you guys. Again, Kevin, Tamika, you guys are doing big things. You guys are practicing. Quentin Adams, you are way too late, my brother. Quentin just now putting up his numbers. Like, come on, Quentin, where you been? Quentin just now putting up, but his numbers are right though. All right, you guys. Hopefully you got some nuggets out of this call. Hopefully I was like a vessel, a blessing in your life tonight. But let's use this education and let's win, you guys. Let's win. All right, you guys, take care. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, you guys will be on the podcast tomorrow. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Good night.